Here we are down at the start for the Wargrave Challenge Cup, and we have Avon Rowing Club from New Zealand, a seeded crew against London Rowing Club B. Avon are on the far side, London Rowing Club B on nearest the camera, and they are off in this heat of the Wargrave Challenge Cup. Club Women's Eights. What do you make of those starts?
Yeah, so nothing particularly to comment on either positively or negatively. Looked like really nice, solid starts to me. Interestingly, one of the things that just caught my eye was that the bucket rig on the far crew on Avon in the sort of, I think it's the 4 and 5 seat. So all of these eights are just trying to optimise their crew order to get the best chance of the top boat speed. Looks as though that Avon have just taken that little bit, a few canvases of a lead, but I think to me both crews look like they've maintained that really nice high pace, which is great to see.
So we are looking up close here at the New Zealand crew from Avon Rowing Club, and we have Claudia Kinder at bow, Holly Lill at 2, Manaya Butler at 3, Hannah Matahari at 4, Katie Bell at 5, Alia Sullivan at 6, Phoebe Collier at 7, Gemma Burrows stroking them, and they're coxed by Isabella Hope Murray. And they have dominated all the national races in New Zealand. They've won the New Zealand national champs, the South Island club champs. They're a very well drilled crew, and they wanted to find some more competition, and they've come over to Henley Royal Regatta to compete in the Wargrave Challenge Cup and match themselves up against the best club women's eights over here.
They look good to me. It looked like a real nice sense of long sweep. I actually get that same sense of impression from the London Rowing Club B crew as well, good length. The only thing that I would say is that Avon look as though they're a little bit more on it at the front. What I mean by that is the oars are going right in the water, just the point of the catching the stroke, just a little bit of a slight slip from the White Blades of London.
Yeah, do you know what I can really see in that New Zealand crew is they're actually getting the blades in before they push, and there's just a little bit of lifting the shoulders in the London crew. Of course, that effectively shortens your stroke in the water. It increases the tension in your shoulders, which you don't want on a windy day. But I mean, they're racing. You know, they're racing. They're trying to hang on to this New Zealand crew. And here we see the blades, very well drilled, impressive catches.
And you can see that bucket rig on bow side. So what we mean by that is you've got an oar and then a bigger gap and then two of them in the middle and then a bigger gap and then the other one at the front. So a lovely shot there of that synchronicity of the oars, and the way you get that is by complete synchronicity of the hands, the bodies, and that beautiful proprioception of those elite athletes.
Really good shot there. I really like how they're dropping it in without tension. You don't want to work it into the water. The work comes once the blade's in the water, and that gives you extra efficiency. It gives you that sense of, yeah, what you're doing is moving the boat rather than just working hard, you know, up and down the seat. But London Rowing Club B are tenacious. They're going to put in some pushes now to try and hang on and not let Avon move away too easily.
And if I'm Julia Norton in the London crew coxing, I'm saying, right, the race plan needs to change. We are a length down, we need to change things, otherwise this is our Henley over. So we're going to bring everything forward, we need to get back in touch. It may be a technical call, it may be a work call, or even a combination of both, but something needs to change to get back in touch in this race.
And she'll be urging on. Rowena Price at bow, Maria Plack at 2, Elizabeth Ryan at 3, Caroline Newbury at 4, Sarah Helen at 5, Jemima Harbottle at 6, Catherine Barnhill at 7, Catherine Jane Coop in the stroke seat, coxed by Julia Norton. And they're part of 3 London Rowing Club crews in this event, as the London Rowing Club women's programme steadily grows in strength each year. They've always had an entry in this event since it first began in 2021. The London Rowing Club captain is a woman at the moment, Elizabeth Cottrell, and I know having 3 women's eights is a sign of how they're building that programme, building the strength. But, you know, they're lacking a little bit in power that perhaps their A crew has for what we can see coming down from Avon Rowing Club.
And this is a great shot, just to show that sense of sweep. So we have rowing 1 oar, sculling 2 oars, but often rowing is referred to as sweep rowing, and that's what I get from looking at these lovely pictures, is just that incredible sense of a long, swept, leg-driven stroke. We also say, I think, when you see the best in the world do it, it looks so simple, and that it really is. Rowing at its purest is a simple sport, but it's so difficult to master, and that's the beauty of it.
So although some have rowed more recently in New Zealand, some have started rowing more recently, some have been rowing all the way through school, but all sorts of different backgrounds coming into this crew. You know, we can see Phoebe Collier at 7 started rowing while boarding at the Wanganui Collegiate School, and she said, you know, she's raced with in the coxless score with Jackie Gowler, Kerry Gowler. I mean, Olympians. You know, as she's come across, she's rowed in the under-21 women's coxless quad. So again, we've got future Olympians, you know, really talented juniors in this crew. They're aged between 19 and 23 in the Avon crew. These are athletes of the future. My goodness, really impressive technical level.
And that's super smart. I think it's what I think as a nation, Great Britain does very well. I know the Australians and the New Zealanders do very well, is mixing these youngsters with the best in the world, or the best the country has to offer early. Why? Well, because that we know we want to get better and learn from the best. And it looks to me like that Olympian mixing has absolutely paid off, and there's a beautiful rhythm being sent down. And look at that pan shot of what it's doing. That's a good 3-4 lengths in an 8, which is a distance.
What you can see is the space in between each set of puddles, so the cover is greater. So for each stroke they take, the boat travels further in between, and you know, that's what you want. It's not just how hard you pull, it's how much you can really harness that in, you know, to get maximum boat speed whilst you're travelling up to take the next stroke. I mean, it's worth saying the London Rowing Club crew, I mean, they're all got jobs at the same time. They've all got, you know, they're sort of different ages, from I think sort of 23 to 45. We've got a full-time doctor in the stroke, and Catherine Jane Coop, and I mean, they train incredibly hard whilst also working, and you know, for the love of the sport, to come and race here against all sorts of talent. So great job. They're attacking all the way down, but at the moment really dominant, that crew from New Zealand.
And this will be the last 2.5, maybe 3 minutes of their race that they want to try and get done and make sure that they can be really proud of the performance that they put down here on Henley Thursday. And look at those faces, that's what we love to see. Effort going in. It's almost like a swan, isn't it, where you can just see this beautiful boat from the outside, and then you zoom in and you see those fierce legs pumping away, putting in that effort. Well done, ladies.
Julia Norton is making sure her crew go the fastest they've ever gone today. That's their challenge. You can see the wind blustering on those flags along the side there. It is tough conditions. It's tough to relax, which you need to do in between applying the power. And of course, you can see some of those blades flying up a little bit in between the strokes. It's particularly blustery in this part of the course at a point when you're wanting to take it up. What does that feel like?
Yeah, it's really challenging. I think that the race largely here in this one is done, in the sense that we have one crew significantly leading, but in some of those tighter races it will just be 1 or 2 strokes that may change the entire course of the result. And so those tipping points, when the wind is swirling round, those flags that you just commented on, Kath, those were flags going in a tailwind direction. So this wind is definitely moving around from a head to a crosshead to a tailwind. It's going all over the place, and so we need to be aware of this as athletes when we're coming down the business end of the course.
They've been taking on senior 8s in New Zealand, and here they are taking on senior women in the Wargrave Challenge Cup, and it is an impressive victory for Avon Rowing Club from New Zealand in the Wargrave Challenge Cup, who have finished and beaten London Rowing Club B, who fought all the way down the course.